Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the art in creating mental health wealth. Our topic is how to save our planet through art. And joining me today, of course, is my wonderful, fabulous co-host who is always traveling, and she's made it back home, and she's joining us from her studio today, JENETTA Barry from the Epiphany Process. She is a co-host here. She brings such incredible value, and she has a network of people who are all like-minded and leading with their heart. Let's welcome her to the program. Hi, JENETTA.
Hi, Dr. JACALYN, and thank you for such a special intro. It's always such an honor and privilege to be on this platform with you, co-creating with some amazing people and amazing topics. And today isn't any less of an amazing topic as well. So it's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you again. We've got a fabulous guest waiting backstage. But before we bring her out, I want to spotlight you as always. For people who are joining us for the first time, what is the Epiphany Process and why is this program so important to you?
The Epiphany Process is a process that I came to create shortly after my teen suicide. When she was 16, she and I were having a discussion about keeping safe housekeeping rules so that she was safe in socializing and all bits and pieces, and she was breaking them. And this escalated into an enormous argument. And in the end, she left to pack to leave home, and I sensed something wasn't right, and I went to look for her, and I found her dead in her shower. She'd killed herself in her shower. And I went to such ground zero on all levels of my life. My marriage, the family splintered. It was just too awful for words, and it took me some time to realize that that wasn't going to define me for the rest of my life. And from there, I started researching and studying on how to get through really accurately, because I found that I was going to trying different methods and different therapies, and that sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't, or it was hit and miss. Some of it did work and none of it, the rest of it didn't. And it was just like there was always such a big missing. And in doing this research, I came to bring about the Epiphany Process to help me through, essentially. And then I began to help people all over the world in crisis, whether it was day-to-day actually challenges, or right through to terrorist attack victims, or people who were self-harming because they were so depressed and stuck in bed. And I've been able to help people with the Epiphany Process, even with a certification program that we run as well, to help people to start really using it effectively. And then we have another certification program that allows them to actually consult and help others. So it's been an amazing journey over 14, 15 years of working the process. But one of the reasons we're here today with our guest is that we took the Epiphany Process one step further. One was through a theatrical production, which addressed depression, suicide, and solutions to it through contemporary dance and visuals and voiceover and all sorts of things, which was phenomenally and is phenomenally successful. And the other thing that we did is we realized, or I realized, that Jenny had died on World Mental Health Day, which is the 10th of October. So we've now created World Jenny's Day on the 10th of October on World Mental Health Day. And last year's World Mental Health Day, or World Jenny's Day, using theatre and the arts, we started new conversations that softens how people talk about depression and suicide ideation. And it was a phenomenally successful day. But before that day, and some of you who have been perhaps following Dr. JACALYN and me in all our episodes might remember that a few weeks back, we did the NFT collection for World Jenny's Day. And that's where our guest today comes in and is part of what we did there. We put a whole collection together for World Jenny's Day, and Vera DG helped us by hosting what we call the NFT drop party. She was our host and supported and backed us. She was amazing, and we are very, very grateful to her as well. And today we've got Vera in her platform with us, representing her, because she's a Ukrainian-born, multifaceted visual artist with 22 years of diverse experience in the art world. And she knows that from very early on, she dreamt of becoming an artist from I think she was about 6 years old when she decided that she was going to become a well-known artist. And she had a very own personal exhibition at that age. Very talented. She's the official member of the Ukrainian Pavilion of the 58th Venice Biennale. She's an independent visual artist, a modern calligrapher, a portraitist, a figurative painter, and speaker of Ein Designer Conference. And of course, she's been very much a part of the epiphany process and World Jenny's Day in the last few weeks, couple of months in our hearts as we followed her journey from living in Ukraine and what's happened there and to her, and what she's doing about it through her art. So I would like to very specially introduce you, Dr. JACALYN, and to all our viewers and listeners to Vera DG. Welcome, Vera, to today.
Hi, Vera. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's my pleasure and great honor to be present during this live stream. Thank you, Jenny, for that amazing idea. And my name is Vera DG. I'm a Ukrainian artist. I work with traditional medium of art more than 22 years. In the last 2 years, I create artworks using augmented reality and virtual reality technologies. So I create experiences. And as we talk today about mental health and art, I think that art can help people to be more healthy using art therapy process and also to be more creative, to express themselves, to live their emotions. And as Jenna said, as many Ukrainians, I woke up 24th of February at 5 a.m. because air defense station outside of my house was bombed hardly. And we just robbed all our stuff and people, my parents and the nephews. We started to flee the country because for civilians, the more smart decision is to leave zone of armed conflict. So that's why I'm here. I'm alive. And my grandma, she stayed in our village in front line of armed conflict for 30 days. Finally, we could take her out yesterday. She is safe too. And I think that all people who lived those days, it was really huge and big tragedy, which is happening still right now. because war is not over, but we are praying that it will stop very soon. So me as a co-founder of Meta Museum, Museum in Metaverse, and also I do create a lot of Metaverse projects. I build museums. Now I'm working upon a museum which I call Uni Museum, Universal Museum for Human Rights and Solidarity, to gather artists all around topic of Ukraine and all around peace in the world, to express through the art their love and solidarity with people of Ukraine. And we will exhibit that huge exhibition in April in Metaverse as well.
Okay, so Vera, I'd love to take, because you've encapsulated all that you represent today, and we're having a little bit of difficulty hearing you clearly. So I'm going to say, let's go back to the 24th of February. I know you had been talking about the possibility of being invaded, but there was a big part where everybody thought it wouldn't really happen. So you were invaded on that day. You could hear all the blastings around your city, correct? Yeah. And
Yes.
then you and your brother and his children, you got in a car and you decided to leave as quickly as you possibly could. Okay.
Yes.
And on that journey, I believe you helped a couple of people. Do you want to explain your journey a little bit and what that entailed and what it put you through?
Yes, so when we woke up at 5 a.m. 24th of February, because of huge sound of bombs, it was absolutely terrible sound, because it was happening not far from my house, only like 1 kilometer, because in the forest there are air defense station. So we understood that war started, and war is a big danger for everybody, of course. So our first and very smart decision was to leave house immediately. And I have been taught by my friends from Los Angeles, from Turkey, that even in the middle of January, Vera, it's gonna be war. Do you look into the news? You need to leave Ukraine before war starts, because there's gonna be trouble. Everybody will be trying to leave. It will be huge traffic on the roads. Maybe you will be risky with your life and your parents and your nephews. But you know that Ukrainians, if to be took seriously, they didn't believe that such a tragedy and nightmare can happen in reality. We were thinking that it's just a pressure that the mass media trying to put on us, and we were not afraid. Like, I didn't believe my friends who told me about the possible war. I think the main reason of that was that we already had a war for 8 years in Donetsk and Luhansk, and we used to that, and our psychology didn't react how we must react. So we were living our life, and my mother was in hospital because she has diabetic illness, and nobody could even expect that full invasion can happen. Even people who created prognosis that it will be possible invasion, even they couldn't expect that many cities will be destroyed, like Kharkiv. Now they have more than 1,300 buildings completely destroyed, a lot of schools and public buildings, educational and governmental buildings as well. So we took all our family documents, things we could take into the car, and we left Kharkiv. Of course, all the roads coming out of city was occupied, because everybody understood the danger and they tried to leave the city. That is because Kharkiv is 30 kilometers from Russian border. It's really easy to get there by missiles and bombings. So people were trying to escape, and we found a road between villages. We could leave Kharkiv more easily than other people who went by main roads. So then we were on our road through all Ukraine. It's more than 1,500 kilometers. We were driving 44 hours non-stop. And it was also dangerous because people, because they felt panic attack, they were hitting their cars and their cars got destroyed on the road, and people who didn't have enough petrol, they stuck just between cities and villages. It's like field, and to close the city 300 kilometers, and nobody can help you in that situation. I don't know what happened with those people. I hope they will survive, but it was many cases like people just stuck on the road and nobody could help them. So, and other cars were full because everybody tried to bring their families to a safe place. Also, another danger was that you could be out of petrol, and on every petrol station, they gave us only 20 liters to one car. So we could put fuel a little bit and then go to another one, put fuel a little bit more. So I consider that everybody who could save their life during those circumstances, they are all heroes, because not only soldiers, they are brave, and people who went to territorial defense, and people who volunteering under the bombs and missiles. Even all civilians who could save their life and their children, their oldest people, they're all heroes, because it was not so easy to escape from the war. And yeah, I'm really happy that many people did it. And also we reached the western border with Hungary. My brother and their family, they stayed there on territory of Ukraine. And we left with my mom to another country because she needs treatment. She's diabetic. So we moved to another country. So in total, our journey was 7 days. We crossed more than 3,000 kilometers. And it was nightmare. And we were very busy with the process of saving our lives. And when JENETTA, she wrote me, Vera, do you need some psychological assistance? I said, no, I don't need. Like, I'm totally okay. But then when we started to look what happened with my city, with cities like Kiev, Kharkiv, Mariupol, Sumy, Gostomel, and Bucha, and near Kharkiv, also Izium is suffering a lot right now. We got a huge shock. We couldn't sleep 1 month, and especially because in Kharkiv, many of my friends, they're left there, they're defending. And my old grandma, 83 years old, she told, I will not leave my city, I will not leave my village. So she insisted to stay. And since 30 days, we could take her out and bring her to a safe place to my brother. But she lived a terrible time. She was born in 1939. Before Second World War started, and she remembered her childhood under the bombings during Second World War. And now she's 83 years old. She lived terrible, terrible months, I guess, because I think first day she didn't realize danger, but when things go worse and more dangerous, and their village was on front line, it was a lot of bombings and armed conflict coming between Russians and Ukrainians. So it was very loudly around. So thanks to God, their house was not damaged and they were safe. But she spent 1 month in bomb shelter. There was no water, no food, no gas, no electricity. So for such age, it was really hard, and we are really happy we could take her back, because war is still there. And yeah, we are doing what we can do. So we are trying to raise money with the Ministry of Digital Transformation. You will show that slide later, I guess. With cryptocurrency, people can donate, and also they can donate via bank account. to support the army of Ukraine and to support humanitarian aid, because it's a big humanitarian crisis right now, not only in Ukraine but in neighborhood countries who is hosting us. The main and biggest country who is hosting is Poland, and all other European countries, of course, they helping a lot.
Oh my goodness!
Any questions?
First of all, I just commend you on your bravery and your transparency and making that decision when you made it. And excuse me, I'm just envisioning driving and knowing that you have to stop every so often and anything could happen during that time, and seeing other people who had to stop and couldn't move forward. So you are so courageous and brave, and I'm just grateful that you made it out. We do have a number of photographs that I want to share, also just in reference to the donation as well. And I do have a comment from someone. Hello. And I happened to look it up. It's my cousin Sue. She's watching from our private women's group. So nice to have you, Sue. Vera, let's go through some of these photographs. If you could just tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, that's Kharkiv. It's like it looks like right now. So we have two regions of Kharkiv close to the north part of city, Saltovka and Alexeyevska region. So they were bombed very hardly, and Russian missiles, they destroyed many residential buildings, and many people were killed, because we have a rule of two walls. If you're in your residential apartment and you hear sound of bombing kind of neighborhood, you can hide yourself behind the second wall. Not harm you. But the thing is, if bomb is coming directly to your apartment and you are inside, you have very little chance to survive. And it's a very big tragedy, because as we see that many buildings looks like that particular one, and they were destroyed, and many people were killed by fire. So it's even impossible to watch those pictures without tears in eyes.
Yes, it's very painful. And I should announce to our audience with some other photographs, and obviously it's very emotional and it could be very disturbing to you. So I just want to let people know
not
that.
so good connection.
It's okay. Here's the next one.
Yeah, that's after bombing. That's it was fire in residential building as well. So all those photographs, I say, related to Kharkiv. That huge tragedy people lived during last month in March. And also people were hiding themselves in bomb shelters. That's from Mariupol, actually. Can you imagine the size of bomb which hit a house and completely destroyed? It's very powerful weapons and bombs Russian army used against Ukrainians.
And we had a number of other photographs that had people in the photographs, so we chose not to show them because we don't have their permission, but it was extremely upsetting. Share a little bit about this with us, please.
Yeah, this initiative of Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, you can scan QR code and you will be linked to that website, JENETTA digital.gov.ua. You can help Ukraine with crypto, many different crypto, Bitcoin, Ether, Tether, Solana, Ethereum, and many others. And we already raised $71 million US, and we have aimed to raise $200 million US to help Ukrainians to defend. So our army to buy their protection staff and soldiers, and also for humanitarian aid. And me, as a Ukrainian, I can say that our government is helping us a lot. So we're receiving help. Everybody can apply to receive help from government. Also, people who have a child and they are needed to leave their houses and move to other regions of Ukraine, they can apply also to receive help of government. Also, we receive a lot of humanitarian help, not only from government, but from other countries, also medical help. And we're grateful for every country, for every person who donated, because we saw really huge support from everybody, and we saw that solidarity. And I think that helped us to defend, because it was really strong support, and we are very grateful for everybody.
Yeah, Vera, I know this one is is a gift, but we couldn't show it as a gift. If you want to explain what this piece of art is, because one of the things that is so powerful about having you on this platform today is that we come through from that place of your talent and art in general to create a way forward and in a sense hope through art. So would you like to explain what that piece of art is about, and also a little bit of background on your website? We have your website, we can show bits and pieces so that we can move forward in a place with that solidarity using art, because your art is phenomenal. So over back to you with that piece of art and a gift.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is my NFT, which I call the most beautiful girl is Ukraine. I think that Ukraine is a shiny girl, and I think it's the most beautiful country for every Ukrainian, of course, and for people who is gonna visit after war will finish. I know that many people from US and from Europe, they are going to visit Ukraine. And we, as a Ukrainian and big patriots of our country, we believe that it was beautiful before war, and we will rebuild it again. It will be more beautiful after all destroyed full armed attack. So that piece about Ukraine and how we love our country, and we all believe that we will be back soon and we will rebuild it again.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah,
it is amazing. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, why don't we go to the website? I think there's a lot of great content there. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Okay,
let's go for it.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us here on USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio.
Take a moment.
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 Take a moment. Take a moment.
So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment.
everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. Our show today is the art of creating mental health wealth. I'm here with JENETTA Barry and the Epiphany Process, and that was World Jenny's Day that we just watched the clip. And we're here with our guest, Vera DG, who is Ukrainian-born, multifaceted artist, and she just shared an unthinkable a story about having to make a decision to leave your home because of a war, taking your family, going out on the road, not knowing what to expect, what's going to happen. So we really honor you for being here and sharing that story, Vera. The next part of our show, we're going to focus on your arts and how art can help people with mental health wealth. So before we go to your website, JENETTA, if you could just give people a little bit of additional information about the clip that we just saw.
Yes, the clip you saw just now was created for World Jenny's Day, showing the timeline of having lost Jenny to suicide, a little bit of insight in that clip about Jenny and the way she felt and thought, and how we released her into the sea over the reef at Mombasa, on the south coast of Mombasa, and where it's brought us to today and what's happened because of that loss, what's meaningfully happened because of that loss. And it's one of the reasons why Vera is with us today, because she rolled up her sleeves and got very much on board with us last year for World Jenny's Day. As we started creating the World Jenny's Day NFT collection, she very generously hosted the NFT drop party that launched it all, and we had the United Nations present in that drop party room on the audio app of Clubhouse, as they acknowledged that this NFT drop and World Jenny's Day was affiliated to the Sustainable Development Goal number 3.4, which is mental wealth and health and well-being. And without Vera and that platform, we couldn't have so powerfully put over the meaning of what World Jenny's Day is. So it's with a huge amount of acknowledgement and thanks that Vera was part of that, and that we can now extend from World Jenny's Day into what Vera is now doing with her art. And Vera, we've got your website up and running now, and I know that one of the pieces is that your Chernobyl NFT piece, which I know is so meaningful to me and various other people. But would you like to walk us through your website and give a bit of insight as to where your art is taking you and the cause in the future?
Yeah, so I started to work as a traditional artist. I've been painting mural paintings, canvases, and glass stained windows. So I've been working in many different techniques. And now we see my exhibition in Dubai in 2019. Since 2017, I created artworks in the style of calligraphy, which is a combination of calligraphy and graffiti. So we see now many examples of my art. Those artworks they are in Kharkiv actually. So I'm praying that my house will not be destroyed because it's on front line. And we will see my artworks alive after war will stop. So calligraphy is a really interesting technique because it can be it can connect you with universal culture, because when you discover calligraphy, you need to discover many different cultures, medieval ages, and even more earlier cultures, to be able to transmit those knowledge into the visual art. So basically, calligraphy, we don't need to read word for word the book. We read by sense of emotions and meanings. And I started to combine with portrait art and figurative painting. So my piece, we're talking, my very first NFT that a friend of JENETTA have bought. She became my very first art collector on NFT. It was dedicated to the Chernobyl tragedy, which happened in 1986 in Ukraine, when Chernobyl nuclear plant exploded because of human mistake. Yeah, we see this piece is augmented reality sculpture, which consists of 1,986 pieces written in calligraphy, Iranian style of calligraphy, which means word love, transmitting love and positive energy through around the globe, healing our past, healing our future. And you know, when a Russian army were playing with nuclear stations, with station in Zaporizhia and Chernobyl, even they bombed 2 days ago small technical station near Kharkiv, because we have University of Physics and Applied Science in Kharkiv. It was a not nuclear plant, but it was a small nuclear reactor for scientific researches and for students. It's like 1.5 kilometers from my house too. I know that building got bombed hardly, but because nuclear reactor, small one, under the ground, very deeply under the ground, it was not destroyed and not harmed. But you know, those games are very dangerous. Especially 1 year ago, we were holding huge rooms on Clubhouse, talking to people about the danger of nuclear energy. So I think that piece is very important today, that art piece, because it's calling all human beings to be responsible for things we are doing on this planet. And I hope that people who create politics, they will hear what artists say in a way. Maybe we have such hope.
So, Vera, I heard you saying that most of your collection is now, your art collection is sitting in your house in Kharkiv.
Yes, it's all my paintings. They are in my house in Kharkiv, which is on front line. So we pray it will be not destroyed, because we could take out my grandma, but many our neighbors, they still there. A lot of people there, and they can't leave because one neighbor, she can't move because she's very old, and her daughter, 60 years old, she's caring about her. So many people are there. So we hope that they will survive, and my artworks.
Yeah, that's quite a thing, because that's your life's work then that's sitting in your house. Yeah.
And you know, JENETTA,
can you repeat again question?
I was saying that basically is your life's work sitting in your house. All your exhibitions and so on that you've had worldwide in Dubai and Venice.
But some of them of my artworks I have currently in digital format, because I've been working in virtual reality. It's very easy to store in cloud and safe. It's very safe technology. And also some of them I have in Turkey, in North Macedonia, in many different countries, in private collections. So those artworks I didn't sell before war started. They are in Kharkiv, but many others around the globe. So we will have heritage.
And Vera, we would love to hear, I know over the last week or so, you've been working very closely in collaboration to create the Meta Museum and how it will tie in and affiliate. The Uni Museum, okay, Uni Museum, and how it will tie in with the whole Ukrainian movement. Would you like to expand on that too? I think we may have lost Vera. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think it was breaking a little bit. So, Uni Museum, I'm building right now, museum in Metaverse. Yeah, the universal museum in Metaverse and beyond for human rights and solidarity. So the very first exhibition will be dedicated to human rights and the tragedies that happened in Ukraine. And also we are working with many communities from India, Africa, and Turkey to onboard artists, traditional artists to NFT, because digital art can give certain level of financial freedom and support. And the NFT community is an amazing family. The slide you showed before, it was my NFT, which I gave to everybody who supported me on my way of fleeing the country. Because I made an alarm on Twitter that, guys, I need your help. And if you can donate me 50, 100 bucks, it would be really helpful. So people, even I didn't ask them personally, they started to run a room for me and support a lot. So I was very grateful for JENETTA and for all our friends from UK who made the room especially for me on Clubhouse. So those money were raised, I spent not only to save my life and my parents, but also I helped other people to escape the war. For example, when we were crossing the border with Hungary, I took to my car 3 students from India, because by walking you couldn't cross the road. You need to be into the car, and nobody like wanted to take them into the car. Maybe because all car was full, but I had 3 places. We were only with my mom, so I said okay, because my main reason was we need to help people, and second, I really love Indian community in NFT also. So I thought that all our NFT community will be happy if I can help someone else too with their donations, their money. So I brought them through the border, and then embassy, Indian embassy of Hungary, brought them to airport. Also, I was helping people who didn't have money, and they spent 1 week in metro, in underground, in Kharkiv, trying to save their lives, and they didn't have money to leave, so I sent them all so they could leave Kharkiv. We had evacuation train. People didn't need to pay for that train, but then when you go out of train in a safe area, you need to have money, of course, to buy food, to buy medicine, everything. So I'm really grateful for NFT community who helped to save not only my life and my friends and my parents, but also my friends and also people who I didn't know before. So I hope that it was for Indian people, it was nice experience, and they will talk very good about Ukrainian people, because they are trying not to leave, even foreigners in the trauma, right? You can say it's trauma. For psychology, maybe it's very hard to leave. So.
Vera, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for helping other people and just paying it forward. I want to just explain, we should have probably talked about this before. NFT, for people who are not aware of what it is, it's a non-fungible token. And JENETTA, our program was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, where JENETTA explained all about NFTs. And also, if you're part of our elevated listening community, we included it there as well. But JENETTA, do you want to give a quick overview of what an NFT is?
Well, an NFT, non-fungible token, basically allows you to register a piece. At the moment, it's mostly art, and art can comprise obviously drawn or painted art. It can be a video. It can be music. It can be a piece of acting prose, audio sound. It can be whatever you want it to be, and it gets registered on the blockchain as a unique version of itself. So it is uniquely itself, and it can't be copied. It's registered on the blockchain for time immemorial. So it makes it non-fungible. Fungible, you know, all the different currencies, cryptocurrencies are fungible because you have one coin and 1 billion coins and they look identical. So they're fungible. But a non-fungible token is one of its own unique kind, and you can buy and sell and trade it. And it's proved very, very profitable. And I know, Vera, you've held many rooms where artists are now starting to earn money and live a reasonable life instead of a hand-to-mouth existence, which so many artists have had to before. So for the artistic people of the world, NFTs has been the most amazing experience for them.
Thank you, JENETTA, for explaining. That's really helpful. Vera, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I really love NFT technology because it allows artists to express their freedom and to connect with people from over the globe, because NFT community is the core and it's a global community. People united from Japan to USA, from Australia, Africa, South America, and Europe. It's really amazing feeling to be all united and to feel as a family. And people are very helpful and supportive. And I was running many rooms last year, helping other people to find their collectors. So it's a very interesting journey. And for everyone who never tried before, take your research and just come in. You're welcome. just apply.
It is an amazing community to just sit and listen to all the artists talking. Clubhouse was the most popular place for those artists to meet in NFT rooms, like Vera's NFT rooms, but they've now moved over more and more to the Twitter rooms. And I really heartily invite you to step into those rooms on Twitter and just be a fly on the wall and listen to what those artists have to say about their works of art, about each other. The insight is profound.
And for those who are not aware, Clubhouse is an audio-only platform where people from all over the world can come together and be in a room. You could be in a room with people from Hollywood, people from India, people from Australia, and each room has a different topic. So a number of artists have gathered on Clubhouse. And we should also share our platform is really to spotlight the creatives from around the world. We've learned so much that even though they create a beautiful piece of music or they're part of this film, they get paid hardly anything. And whatever job they have, it's for a limited amount of time. And so they get a revenue from that, but then there's no more income. So NFTs are a great way for artists to have an additional income stream. And we're not financial advisors here, but we're just letting you know what NFTs are and how you can get involved and learn more.
Absolutely. And Vera, as we come to the end of our show today, what would you like people to move forward with you and to do in terms of the Uni Museum? Is there anything at the moment? How can they follow the Uni Museum? How can they become part of it and learn more about it?
Yeah, Uni Museum is launched next week. So for now we have a Twitter page, Twitter/Uni Museum. And you can follow that page. All announcements will be done through that page, and the website will be live next week, unimuseum.io.
Okay, and can people get hold of you on your website? How can they get hold of you?
On my website, veradg.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be very glad with new connections.
I just think it's so commendable the way you've been able to not only flee, help others, help your grandmother, and work on the Uni Museum. You are one warrior lady and fighter, and I commend you. We commend you.
As do I, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm for Twitter, people will be able to find it at unimuseum.io. Okay, perfect.
Unimuseum.io. Without the just Twitter/Unimuseum.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll put that out there. Okay, it's time to wrap up our show for today. I really honor you, Vera. You're such a courageous, beautiful person, and to come and share your story is so meaningful. It really does provide us hope and inspiration as well. We have a comment, and amazing, Vera. And thank you to my cousin Susan KERBECK Beach for watching. I love you and glad that you're out there. Okay, Vera, thank you again. You're welcome to come back anytime and keep us updated on what you're doing.
Thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm really honored and grateful. I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. Stay safe and keep doing the beautiful work that you're doing, helping others.
Huge amounts of love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, JENETTA.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Vera and I were a bit concerned about her connection. She's not in a very good area to connect on Wi-Fi easily. So the fact that we only had a few glitches is actually beyond amazing. And I'm so inspired we managed to still hold this and get it broadcast out there.
Absolutely. And I had a hard time holding it together, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. It's like, especially as, you know, I've got to know Vera. We, as a group, have got to know Vera pretty well. And just watching her these last few weeks has been, wow. And then watching all the news clips and thinking about her and her family really brings it home.
And, you know, there's a question that's always put out into the world, which is if something happened and you only had seconds to make a decision about what you would take, you have to leave your home, what would you take with you? And she actually had to make that decision. And all of her incredible creations that she hasn't sold yet are still in her home. And she had to look at it and say, you know, there's revenue there, right? There's my art, my work, and I've got to leave it all behind, not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, really, and her bravery, it just shines through, and it's that type of bravery that will make things move forward and happen and create more hope for others.
Absolutely. I want to spotlight you and ask you to share how people can get in touch with you. And I know people have actually reached out to you as a result of the show, people who are in a dark place, and you are just bringing so much value with your epiphany process and World Jenny's Day.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Yeah, so if you'd like to chat with me more on how to deal with day-to-day challenges, you might be challenged by relationships. Most of us are at some time, if not most of the time, whether it's home or work or wherever it is that you're finding difficult to express yourself. Please do feel free to chat to me and with me. And you can get hold of me on theepiphanyprocess.com. There's a connection form there, or worldjennysday.com. There's also a connection form. And either way, reach out, chat to me. I'm very approachable. If you'd like to know just want to be held. I mean, some of you might be in a similar situation to Vera, and with all my heart, please do reach out and contact me, and I'm happy to chat you through whatever it is that you're dealing with. But yeah, do have a look at both websites. They're informative, insightful, and if this resonates with you, I look forward to meeting you. And thank you again, Dr. JACALYN, for this wonderful platform.
Thank you, JENETTA, and thank you for bringing Vera to the platform and having her share her story. It was so important.
Yeah, well, thank you for allowing it too, because I think it could make a difference to so many.
Absolutely. Before we go, I just want to put up her website again. It's Vera DG, and let me find her banner. Here it is. So please do go and take a look at her website and support her work. It would mean so much to all of us. Look how beautiful. Okay.
Okay, well, looking forward to next week and having our next guest online. We've got a wonderful lineup coming up as well. One of the guests we're going to have is Arnie Umian, who is the Filipino choreographer of our production Insight that we put on as part of the Epiphany process and World Jenny's Day. So I'm looking forward to that too, and to you meeting him.
I'm as well.
Okay. And see you next week.
See you next week, JENETTA. Thank you so much. Okay, folks, our next show coming up is the United Kingdom News and Culture. And if you haven't joined us before, this is a fabulous show. My co-host is Diane Floyd-Bain. She'll be joining us from Texas. And then we have our three special correspondents, Ian Pelham-Turner, Helena Shard, and Simon McDonald. Ian and Helena are joining us from London, and Simon is joining us from Scotland. So we'll be talking about news and culture, what's taking place in the UK. All right, before we wrap up, I want to play a special tribute to people of Ukraine and people all over the world. I just have to find my clip. It's We Stand Together. So God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Look forward to having you back very shortly in less than an hour.
Just call my name if you ever feel down or feel afraid, 'cause nothing is stronger than men who stand as one for a long time.
All the things that passed, million times the troubles seem to be
easy, and days felt so bright with you.
I remember you always been my family member.
That's the time when we need to stand together. I made this song for you. Hope it reaches and puts a little bit
smile on you
and fills your mind with hope, because you're not alone. We're together in this love. We stand forever.
Peace is what we need. Everyone knows the truth, no matter which side you pick. You might realize
you're not alone. We're together.